Hey guys, welcome to The Drop. I'm Neha, and with me I've got Abdullah and Hur, who are both massive gaming geeks. And we're going to talk about about E3, which was the biggest gaming convention of the year. Yes. So in terms of the future of gaming, what was some unique that was unveiled?
So Microsoft, as we all know it, unveiled the future. Their latest offering is Project Scarlet, the Microsoft Xbox Project Scarlet, which is 10 times more powerful than Xbox One X, which was said to be the most powerful console of our time. So that was one hell of a thing. And it features 8K resolution and 120 frame rate per second, which is a great deal in gaming terms.
Basically, mainly the gamers complain about that, computer gamers, laptop gamers, that you can't get the same graphics on consoles, because on consoles you have this specific processor, you can't upgrade it. But now with the Project Scarlet, they're able to produce laptop level gaming on a console, which is amazing, because
right.
120 FPS working on a frame rate, it's great.
So on the other hand, Google brought us Stadia. They are dabbing into cloud gaming, so that was a huge thing. But in my opinion, you have to be very rich to afford that. On paper, it seems a very nice thing. It seems because the games that you play on consoles and on PC, you can have access to them on your devices. Right. But it's not feasible.
The internet, I assume, is going to be a problem.
It's going to be very expensive.
Right. And now, another big thing that was announced was the remake of Final Fantasy VII. How big of a deal is that?
Okay, basically Final Fantasy VII has been holding a cult following ever since it started. The Final Fantasy series is huge in Japan, and then it moved to Western culture. Basically, it's a JRPG, but it moved to Western culture.
I mean, it revolutionized gaming, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Because that game was ahead of its time. It came out in 1997, and it's been 22 years, and people have been screaming for a remake ever since it came out. And they're like, we want a remake on the current gen console, like how the Resident Evil remake panned out, and
right.
it got hits. Now this game is so massive that it has been into development for the past decade or so, and now they have a date that will be out by 2020, Q1 2020. And people were going crazy about it. They were crying on the convention when they heard about it. It's something,
It's a phenomenon.
It's a phenomenon, because
right.
it's something that you have been waiting for, and finally you've been shown the glimpses of it, the gameplay and everything.
It's a dream come true for gamers.
Yes, it is.
Now, film and TV celebrities and film and TV storylines had a massive presence at the E3 convention, which I have to ask, is Hollywood influencing gaming?
In a huge way.
Yeah, in a huge way. They've brought in Marvel's Avengers, which has a very huge fan following. But the problem with it was people didn't like the character development.
They like the faces don't match the people from the MCU.
From the movie,
Yes.
Okay. And what about the other ones? Are there other major, like I know Keanu Reeves made a massive
he made a
surprise
debut in one of
appearance.
these futuristic sci-fi games, Cyberpunk 2077. They're showing a world where robotic enhancements are taking people to the next level, and he made an entrance, and he's the one who presented the game at the end. So that was a big, pop-off for them.
But I think it works both ways.
It does.
I mean, not necessarily just about E3, but generally gaming, the world of gaming has been influencing TV shows and movies as well. I mean, we've got The Witcher coming up.
The Witcher coming up on Netflix. Then we have the game for Stranger Things coming up, and
Castlevania as well.
Castlevania. And they were big hits on the Netflix streaming app. People loved it, because when you follow a game, then you put it into animation. You just want to revisit your favorite characters.
Certainly.
Like when DMC came out, Devil May Cry's animation came out. It was a huge hit. Final Fantasy comes out with their animations from time to time. And the biggest thing that is the Uncharted game is going to be made into a real live action movie by next year.
Wow, that's interesting. Now I have to ask about the gaming scene in Pakistan. Like we do have a lot of talent here, but do gamers have a proper platform to exhibit that talent?
Actually, Pakistan has always had limited resources. But recently at EVO Championship 2019 in Japan, a Pakistani boy from Lahore won the tournament. His name was Arslan Ash for Taken 7. He was playing with one character, Kazumi, and he dominated the world scene.
Wow.
It took him almost 4 days to get to Japan because first he wasn't getting the visa. And then there was an issue when he landed to the airport. They're like, you don't have the visa for the next country, for Korea, so you have to change the flight. Thankfully, he found a very good sponsor. So unless you find good sponsorship, because it's expensive. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Traveling to different countries is expensive, and
It's an expensive hobby in itself.
very expensive. You need to have some kind of
But
resources to support.
we
it.
do have a lot of great gamers in Pakistan
Certainly.
because it's not easy to beat Koreans and the Japanese at their own game.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because they're
And
considered
do we
in gaming
have
terms.
gaming conventions in Pakistan for gamers, Pakistani gamers?
Yes, Mountain Dew just had their convention here at Expo, and then there was a game park event. So these events, they keep coming up, and they game at a very professional level. All the latest games like Injustice, Mortal Kombat XL, and all these games, they're going really well.
Well, that's very interesting. And that's all we've got for today. We'll be back with the new episode very soon. You were watching The Drop.